Howdy folks, this is Checkers, and this is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Now, this is an Obsidian game, and published in this version by Versus Evil. This is the Steam version, and, well, I thought we might at least take a look at it, so let's hit new game. Before I get started, I should say I never finished Pillars of Eternity 1. There were some things going on in my life back then that basically prevented me from doing so. And I never did catch up with it, so this is a very cold look, and I have no background to import. Let's see what happens. We can choose difficulty from Story, Relaxed, Classic, Veteran, Path of the Damned. Let's see, what's Relaxed is for players who are new to real-time with paused combat. We can probably try Classic. And level scaling. Level scaling provides a constant level of challenge to players when exploring Deadfire. While enabled, enemies within a scene will adjust their level up or down depending on the player's character level relative to the intended level for the scene. I don't know. I wonder what the recommended thing is. Let's just go with... It started with none, right? Let's find out. Level scaling all. Okay, sure. And classic. Oh, I am not entirely sure what that means. But we'll give none a try since it seems to be the classic default. Maybe it makes it easier by keeping the pressure constant, thus the leveling as well. Obsidian Entertainment presents Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. But maybe the gods weren't finished with us. My god came back. Will you forgive us? Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
Okay. Okay, let's go this way. Memory.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Oh, we can talk to him. Let's go back.
The creases of the dwarf's face tighten into a smile as he gives you a courteous nod.
Oh. Well,
Sit. Please.
I thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, Her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Examine the cards to choose your legacy. Okay, let's see. In Pillars, you returned the lost Hallowborn souls to the Drywood children as you had pledged to Hylia. You were kind and merciful to people you encountered, sympathetic to their pain, and charitable to those who needed help. Well, in order not to spoil anything, let's just sort of see what our options are. Oh, we can be one of these. Let's be fair and balanced. Well, okay, we'll see what that says. In Pillars of Eternity, you return the lost Hallowborn souls to the wheel as you had pledged to Barath. Most other choices were judicious and balanced, tempered by rational thought and fairness rather than sympathy or emotion.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Sure.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Barath. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
I don't remember.
You prayed for my help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, and pledged yourself to me.
Okay.
And though you could have broken your pledge when you defeated Theos at Sun and Shadow, you did not. Admirable.
Well, just the kind of ghost I am.
She delicately places a card on the table. A bell in a tower. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothus. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Am I dead?
No. But neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a Hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people around it.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands. Their souls remain in Aothus still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
Well, let's get on with it.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Okay. So, we can be male or female. And next, we have our racial choices. Almawa. The mighty Almawa are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rauatai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. Dwarf. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in the Deerwood, the Valian republics, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity, +2 might, +1 constitution, -1 dexterity. Elf. Elves are the dominant race in Ire, Glanfath, and the White that Wends. They are extremely common in the Deerwood and Aedir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as a commonly isolationist nature, +1 dexterity, +1 perception. Godlike. The godlike are children of the Kith, civilized races, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. Human. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common races in the Deerwood, the Aedir Empire, Old Valia, and the Valian republics. Though not as large as the towering Almawa, humans are known for their strength and willpower. And finally, Orlan. Orlans are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-tone skin, and hirsute bodies, Orlans are commonly found in Ire Glanfath, the Ixamital Plains, and parts of the Deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses, -1 might, +2 perception, +1 resolve. Alright, well, let's take a look at what sub-races we have here. There is the Death Godlike. Death Godlike are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases, entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside, hiding their features. Death Godlike are commonly killed at birth because many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom, +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. Death's usher. Death Godlike seem to have an innate sense for the vulnerability of their enemies as death approaches. Against all targets that are near death, Death Godlike gain increased damage. Pallid Fate. Death Godlike gain increased power level when they are near death. Fire Godlike. The bodies of Fire Godlike often resemble hot metal, burnt wood, or stone with harmless flames that erupt from the cracks in their skin. Fire Godlike are objects of both reverence and fear in the Deadfire archipelago. Many locals believe that they have the power to awaken volcanoes, or that killing one will cause a volcano to awaken. In the Deerwood, Fire Godlike are often seen as a sign of the blessing of Magran, goddess of war and fire. +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. Battle Forged. When Fire Godlike are bloodied or near death, their bodies harden, granting additional armor rating, and their souls lash out at attackers, causing burn damage to anyone who hits them in melee. Ashen Skin. Fire Godlike skin is naturally resistant to burn damage. Moon Godlike. Moon Godlike are the most tolerated of the godlike. While their skin tone and a large moon-like growth on their foreheads may be strange to some, their appearances are generally considered more palatable by the other Kith. Sailors have many beliefs about Moon Godlike and their propensity to bring good luck, though there is little agreement as to what kind of luck they tend to bring. +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. Silver Tide. The souls of all Moon Godlike are connected to reserves of healing energy. In combat, the first time a Moon Godlike is hurt bloodied or near death, they will automatically generate a wave of healing around themselves. Nature godlike. Nature godlike appear to be a fusion of human and animal features, often covered by plants, moss, or fungi. This has led to the common stigma that they are diseased, and many are killed at birth because of it. Many druidic orders have a keen interest in nature godlike because of their general curiosity as to how souls occupy animals, plants, and stones. +1 dexterity, +1 intellect, wellspring of life. The souls of nature godlike respond powerfully to inspiration. While a nature godlike is under the effects of any might, constitution, or dexterity inspiration, they benefit from an increased power level. Okay, the other one I was curious about is the Aumaua. Let's see what they have to say. There is the Island Aumaua. Island Aumaua originated in the Deadfire archipelago and have largely remained there over the millennia. While physiologically similar to their coastal cousins, the coloration of Island Aumaua is starkly different, warm tones contrasting with coastal's cool blues and green. While not all Island Aumaua are connected to the native Huana culture of the Deadfire, it is rare to find them in the Eastern Reach, much less the old empires, +2 might. Among the waves, Island Aumaua are unusually comfortable moving through the water, deep sand, mud, and similar obstacles. Unlike all other races, they are not reduced to waiting when running through such impediments during combat. Coastal Aumaua. Viewed by many in the old empires and Eastern Reach as a warlike race, the coastal Aumaua are dominantly from the northern nation of Rauatai. Though they originated in the Deadfire archipelago thousands of years ago, time and distance have divorced them from their distant Huana kin. Coastal Aumaua are less intimately connected to the sea than their island Aumaua, and are distinguished by their cool skin tones, +2 might, towering physique. Coastal Aumaua are renowned for their natural sea legs and sturdy builds. Whether it's due to their long history of seafaring or something innate, all coastal Aumaua have resistance to might afflictions. You know, I kind of like that moon godlike. Let's give that a whirl. Next. Wait, what? Oh, interesting. Just because we chose a race doesn't mean we can't choose a size. Alright, well, let's go for an Aumaua godlike. Select single or multi-class. Would you like to make a single class or multi-class character? Single class characters are entirely focused on their chosen class to gain access to higher level powers more quickly. Multi-class characters can select powers from 2 classes, but gain access to higher level powers more slowly and cannot access their class's highest level powers. Single class. And our class choices are Barbarian, Chanter, Cipher, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Priest, Ranger, Rogue, and Wizard. And if you're new to the series, I'm guessing the ones you're kind of wondering about are Chanter, Role Support and Crowd Control, Resource Phrases. In every culture across Eora, there are Chanters. Many historians consider Chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic, their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, Chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they are just a time-honored part of local folk tradition. +2 bluff, +2 history, +2 arcana, +2 sleight of hand, and +2 diplomacy. And Cipher. Crowd Control and Striker are the roles. Resource Focus, a recent discovery in the Eastern Reach. Ciphers were once called Brishalgwyn Mindhunters by the Glanfathans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. +2 insight, +2 metaphysics, +2 sleight of hand, +2 mechanics, and +2 buff. We can preview their ability tree. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. Barbarian, crowd control defender, druid, crowd control, support and striker, fighter, defender and striker, monk, striker, defender, paladin, support, defender, priest, support, ranger, striker, defender, rogue, striker, resource, guile, wizard, crowd control and striker. Let's go fighter. Always can tell how well a game will do by how well they handle a fighter. Major role defender, minor role striker, resource discipline. Fighters form the front line of disciplined armies across the Eastern Reach. Though they are most commonly found in cultures with an organized martial structure, fighters can also be encountered as wandering mercenaries, bodyguards, and other types of sellswords. The common element that unifies fighters is their heavy focus on endurance and melee defense. +2 survival, +2 intimidate, +2 streetwise, +2 athletics, +2 explosives. And a fighter's ability tree. Okay. Subclass. We can choose to have no subclass and incur neither additional benefits nor penalties. There is a black jacket. Fighters of the Black Jacket Academies pride themselves on being skilled with a wide variety of weapons. Though the original school was founded in the Deerwood, many sister academies have sprung up around the Eastern Reach and old empires. Former students of the Black Jacket often wear black brigandine as a sign of fellowship. Start with an additional weapon set and weapon proficiency, reduced recovery time penalty when switching weapons, loses constant recovery. Devoted. The devoted are dedicated to the pursuit of a single weapon to the exclusion of all others. They are so attuned to the techniques of their chosen arms that other weapons feel bizarre and alien to them. Because of their extreme specialization, devoted academies often consist of a single master or tiny cadre of like-minded disciples. Bonus may select a single weapon proficiency as their chosen weapon. Increased penetration with their chosen weapon, increased critical hit damage with their chosen weapon. Penalty. Accuracy is penalized whenever using a weapon that is not their chosen weapon. Only gain a single proficiency and no new proficiencies during level up. Unbroken. Unbroken fighters are glaciers of the battlefield, slow-moving, almost indestructible, and dangerous to circumvent. Often underestimated for their lack of mobility, the Unbroken have laid low countless foolhardy opponents on the battlefield. Unbroken academies tend to be somber, serious places, most common in similarly somber, serious nations such as Adir and Red Keras. Bonus, +1 engagement, increased penetration on disengagement attacks, gains shield mastery, providing bonus armor rating while wearing a shield. Penalty, lower stride in combat and lower reflexes. I think I would choose no subclass. And abilities. Oh, knockdown. Always knockdown. Shoves an enemy with enormous force, knocking them prone and causing damage. Range melee, accuracy 10, interrupts on graze, noise quiet. Discipline barrage, however, is the fighter intensely focusing on their training, gaining the aware inspiration for a short time, combat only, cast time instant, noise quiet, but knockdown. Okay, points left. And we have silver and gold stars. Silver is recommended. Gold is highly recommended. We have 2 gold categories, Resolve and Constitution, which would make humans an interesting fighter. Resolve contributes towards reducing hostile effect durations as well as improving will and deflection defenses. It reflects a character's internal drive, determination, and fearlessness. Okay, 15 points. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I do not believe in the school of min-max. Okay. Next. Where are you from? Well, that's a good question. The Adir Empire, +1 resolve. We're just going to look at the bonus for this. +1 dexterity, +1 resolve, +1 intellect, +1 constitution, +1 might. And the white that wins +1 perception, +1 might. The Living Lands is the mountainous region of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable. Its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. Living Lands are homes to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial and independent settlements. Okay, Living Lands it is. What was your job? Okay, let's look again just at the bonuses. Survival, athletics, alchemy, sleight of hand, bluff, streetwise, survival, diplomacy, history, survival, mechanics, alchemy. Mechanics is finding and disarming traps and secrets, I believe. Athletics, in addition to hazards of Mortal Kombat, adventurers have to have walls to climb. Once per encounters, characters with athletics can use second wind ability, recover lost health. So, it's what it says on the label. Mercenary, streetwise, athletics, intimidate. Ooh, I kind of like that. Merchant, streetwise, bluff, and diplomacy. Scientist, explosives, metaphysics, and arcana. Mercenary it is, which goes fairly well with a fighter. Weapon types. We can choose 2. Interesting choice. Firearms, pistol, blunderbuss, arquebus. Well, two-handed. Morning Star. Oh, Morning Star. Big brother of the mace. Morning Stars are two-handed weapons topped with a spike head. Well, who can resist that? Flail, also. Or mace. 10 to 14 versus 11 to 15. 10% of graze is converted to hits. Of course, there's also sword. Can round ourselves out. Quarterstaff. I love the variety and the choice. This is actually pretty amazing. But let's go with another two-handed choice. Actually, I really like flails. Flail and mace. Okay. Oh. And how many portraits are there? This is sort of close. Okay, let's go with that. Colors. Ah, I see. Not seeing where... oh, down there. Right on the pant leg. What is this? There we go. I wish these were more saturated. Let's go with that. Face. Okay. Hair. Oh, cool. Oh, let's try that. Voice.
Nothing will slip past me. Ready when you are. I'll lead the way. Yeah!
Not a sound. What can I do? I'm flattered.
To whispers and shadows.
Oh? I should lead us.
Show him how it's done!
I'll take a peek.
Hey there. I got this.
I'll teach you a lesson! Take him down!
Keeping quiet. Follow me.
Stoic. Pose. Oh, okay. Heroic. Hunched. Roguish. Sassy. Sassy is alternating hips. Stoic. Sullen. No, I think average. Stoic is too defensive. Okay, name. Checkers. Next. Oh, I love all the things, the stats. Alright. I really should have gotten back to the first one. Maybe I will. At some point. Let's see what happens next.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you. To open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Goosebumps rise on Idir's arms at your approach, but he seems unaware of your presence. Oh, there's our body. What is this? You sense the steward's spirit in the bust, but she is unaware of you. I think this is an old friend from the first game.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adair watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Alive.
Alive's a big improvement.
I agree.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
Cad Nua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul. And proximity to it has brought you back.
Remain silent.
Misfortunes brewing topside, we... Magrans fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He...
Indicates a chest nearby. A nearby wardrobe. Alright, I think we will stop here. This has been a look at character creation, and maybe we will take a look at combat in another episode. Whether this will be a Let's Play or not, well, I'm not entirely sure. We'll see how well you folks enjoy it, if you're curious, if you're not.
You hearing all right? Gear's in the wardrobe. Got no time to dally.
Oh, we have plenty of time to dally. Alright, I would like to say thank you for watching. I hope you found the video entertaining and maybe just a little informative. I would like to invite you to subscribe, like and share if you so desire, and to ask you, above all, to please take care.